welcome to Pluribus Unum's Fireside Chats. Not as good as FDR's, but hey, it's something. Now, today is as I'm recording this, it is the first month of June, which means that it is day one of Pride Month. Parade all the gay people out there, bi people, or transgender people supporting and doing Pride Month. Now, had I known that, I probably would have scheduled, a little video series like I tried to do with the Black History Month, but I didn't know, so I will probably do something for Pride Month, but it's not going to come out, it's not going to be the main series video that's going to come out after this one. It's going to be a while from now, like near the end of the month. I mean, I might as well say what it is. It is going to be a look back at some... It's going to be a really basic one video, to be quite honest. It's going to be like, here are LGBT firsts in regards to politics. Like, first LGBT person to run for president. First LGBT person to, win a governorship, or etc., etc. Just to see, how this all goes. Like, just to give, like, a little bit of a hoorah for LGBT folks. And I'll even include people I don't like. You think you know who it is. But anyways, let's get right into the news. First, the European Union. Now, I know I'm slightly late to the game because it's June, and I'm only now telling you the results of the EU elections, but it was relatively recent. So, pretty much here's the breakdown of the EU elections. The EU Parliament from 2019 to 2024 will be as follows. 179 of its members will be part of the group of European People's Party, which are Christian Democrats. 153 of its members will be a part of the group of Progressive Alliance of Socialists and Democrats in European Parliament. 105 of the groups will be the group for the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats for Europe and Renaissance. Renaissance. 69 of its members will be a part of the Greens/European Free Alliance. 63 of its members will be a member of European Conservatives and Reformists groups. 58 of its members will be a member of the Europe of Nations and Freedom group. 54 of its members will be a part of Europe of Freedom and Direct Democracy group. 38 of its members will be part of Confederal Group of European United Left/Nordic Green Left. 8 members are non-attached, and 24 members have yet to align themselves with a political group in the European Union. Now, I know what you may be thinking. I really don't know any of this. The only country that people have actually cared about in regards to the EU elections is, of course, the UK. Even though technically they weren't supposed to participate in this election, but, Brexit didn't end up happening as of late, so, they still actually get to participate in the EU elections this time around. Here's pretty much a basic breakdown of how the EU elections work in the UK. The UK has separated itself into a certain number of constituencies. Each constituency has a certain number of people who represent them in the European Parliament. Now, for example, Wales has 3 members that represent them in the European Parliament. So each political party picks their own people, like they pick candidates, like, let's say you're a political party in Wales, you would pick 3 candidates to represent you in Wales. So when it comes down to the fact that you would inevitably just say, okay, let's say I was running a political party in Wales and I wanted to pick me, the Hill of Roses, and Mr. Beat to be the political candidates for our 3 EU seats. Inevitably, it would come down to the fact it's rewarded proportionally. So if we only win 1 seat, your number 1 candidate gets to take the seat. If you win 2 seats, your top 2 take the seats. If you win 3, your top 3 get the seats. Okay? So, it's kind of like how Sargon of Akkad got to be a candidate. He was the second choice for UKIP. to be a candidate in Southwest England. So if they won a certain amount of votes in that district and won 2 seats, he would have gotten a place in the European Parliament. So here's how it went down. Out of all the political parties, the Brexit Party did the best, getting 29 seats out of the none that they had, because they're a brand new political party. Second place, Liberal Democrats with 16 seats. Now third place, Labour with 10 seats, followed by the Green Party of England and Wales with 7 seats, the Tory Party with 4 seats, the Scottish National Party with 3 seats, Plaid Cymru with 1 seat, Sinn Féin with 1 seat, the Democratic Unionist Party with 1 seat, and the Alliance of Northern Ireland with 1 seat. Now, of course, there are people who won, and the remaining parties, Change UK, UKIP, Scottish Green Party, SDLP, Traditionalist Unionist Vote, Ulster Unionist Party, Yorkshire Party, English Democrats, UK European Union Party, Animal Welfare Party, Women's Equality Party, Green Party in Northern Ireland, Independent Network, Socialist Party of Great Britain, and any remaining independents. They won votes, but they didn't win any seats. So Change UK is doing a bang-up job. They won nothing. And UKIP, UKIP didn't win any seats, so Sargon didn't win, unfortunately. The Brexit Party pretty much took that role of the Brexit Party. Maybe it has something to do with their name. But, yeah, you can see that overall, and in other parts of the area in the country, it's pretty evident that it's mostly right-wing populist parties and green parties that did really well in the EU elections. So that means 2 issues are coming up. Leaving the EU and climate change. Those are the big issues, apparently, in Europe for the time being. So, it looks like Brexit may inevitably be inevitable. So, let's see where it goes. I'm an agnostic on the Brexit issue. Galloway's presented his points. Labour's presented his points. Let's see how it goes. Now, the next story is actually kind of 3 stories, but it's just me and it kind of ties into Pride Month, because I'm singing the praises of a gay governor, Jared Polis. Jared Polis, for those of you who don't know, is a progressive, kind of libertarian, guy who's well known for being very outspoken and being gay. That's pretty much all he's known for, his super progressiveness and libertarianness. He was actually a member of the House Liberty Caucus with Justin Amash. He was the only Democrat that was in that caucus because he had a lot of big libertarian leanings. The Liberty Caucus, if I was in Congress, they might knock on my door, but I highly doubt I would join them. I'd ally myself with them, but on foreign policy and stuff, but otherwise, I don't really see much. But anyways, that's not important. Polis has been, people have been kind of big on the fact that a gay person was elected governor. And, I was reluctant to endorse him at first. I was like, let's see where Polis is leaning and what he's doing. Here are some things that he has done. I think, just this week, on May 28th, Polis signed a bill defelonizing single-use drug possession for Schedule 1 and 2 substances. Okay. 4 days ago, Governor Polis signs the Ban the Box bill into law. This is a law that prevents... him signing this law basically makes it so that public and private sector employers can't say, hey, are you a felon? On job applications, you can't say you're a felon. They can do a background check on you to see if you did a crime in the past, but on the job application itself, you can't say, hey, are you a felon? He also signed a law, giving immigrants the rights to own driver's licenses. And he's also signed the law that makes it so that price gouging of insulin is completely illegal in Colorado. So, yeah. Polis, keep doing what you're doing, boy. Let's just move forward. Jared Polis, winning 100%. Polis, let's go. Maybe you should run for Senate next. Okay, so this next one is a story about how, it's a thing that Movement for Our People's Party was fully happy with a little bit because, it kind of ties into their little bit of a narrative. Louisiana's Democratic governor has signed a bill that will make nearly all abortions illegal at 6 weeks of pregnancy. Louisiana's Democratic governor, John Bel Edwards, signed a bill Thursday that bans nearly all abortions, even in cases of rape or incest. Louisiana's House approved the so-called heartbeat bill on Wednesday after it overwhelmingly passed the state Senate on May 6. The bill, sponsored by Democratic State Senator John Milkovich, outlaws nearly all abortions when a fetal heartbeat is detected as early as 6 weeks before many women know they're pregnant. Several other states have recently passed similar laws, including Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Ohio. Louisiana's abortion ban will take effect only if a similar anti-abortion law in Mississippi is upheld in a federal court of appeals. Last week, a federal judge in Mississippi temporarily blocked the legislation enforcing its anti-abortion law. In a statement shortly after lawmakers passed the bill, Edwards was repeatedly said that he would sign it despite criticism from fellow Democrats, emphasized his work as a pro-life legislator for 8 years and as governor. I know there are many people who feel as strongly as I do on abortion and disagree with me, and I respect their opinions. The Democrats say that he believes being pro-life means being more than just being pro-birth, and listed his efforts to expand access to healthcare for residents, reform criminal justice system, raise the minimum wage, and act protections for LGBT people in the workforce, the number of children being adopted out of our foster care system. He's basically saying, he doesn't just stop at anti-abortion, but he also is like, hey, we also do this, and this. But it's, again, vote blue no matter who, because, I mean, come on. Why would you say this is a bad idea? Of course we should make all abortions illegal. It worked so well for that woman who literally, one of the most famous pictures of all time is a woman who is dead from a botched abortion. But hey, armored skeptics said it's the left's fault that this abortion law happened because the left praises abortion. Vote blue no matter who's working so well, everyone. Just look at how well it's gotten us. We got Dan Lipinski opposing abortion. We got John Bel Edwards opposing abortion. What Democrats are for abortion again? But anyways, next story is, it ties into the presidential election. It's not a candidate yet, but it's about the Democratic debates. They made it more difficult to get in the third debate. The debate that is set for September 12th and could be extended to a second night, September 13th, if enough candidates meet the threshold to participate. Location and moderators have not been announced, but pretty much here's how it is going. Remember, here's a reminder of the first one. They need 65,000 donors for the first two debates, or 3% in, or not 3%, 1% in 3 national polls. Now, the rules for the third debate go like this. Candidates have to hit 2% in 4 national polls, and they will need 1,300,000 donors. That's it. That's it, literally. So, yeah, looks like Michael Bennett's not going to get in the next debates because he hasn't even met either of the original threshold yet. I would give you an update on who made it to the debates again, but there hasn't really been a major update since last time. Mike Gravel slightly update because he got, now he has 40,000 donors. Now he's got 25,000 more to get into the debates. But, Mike Gravel might get there, for all we know. And now, this is not really a story either. This is more of a debunking. Okay, so there's an article from the Washington Examiner that is trying to get Bernie. I kind of went over this on my Twitter, but this is a more elaborate explanation. The Washington Examiner, which is known as the Washington Post for conservatives, here's the headline: Bernie Sanders campaigned for a Marxist party in the Reagan era. Bernie Sanders campaigned for the Socialist Workers' Party in the 1980 and 1984 presidential campaigns and was investigated by the FBI for his ties to the Marxist group. Like, they're trying to get him, like, oh, he worked for the Socialist Workers' Party, and he was trying to hide this information. Okay, first of all, this isn't secret. I want anybody who's watching this episode right now, stop the video, not now, after I explain what you do. Go to the Bernie Sanders Wikipedia page, Control F, Socialist, Workers, and there you go, Socialist Workers' Party. That shows his affiliation with the Socialist Workers' Party right there, as well as his affiliation to the Socialist Party that he founded called the Libertarian Party. Second of all, here's a major misunderstanding. You see, it says here that he campaigned for Andrew Pulley's campaign, even putting quotes on it. Sanders proudly endorsed and supported Andrew Pulley, the presidential candidate, when in fact, that is not the case. He did not support Andrew Pulley, because in 1980, there were 3 Socialist Worker Party tickets. One with Andrew Pulley, one with Clifton DeBerry, and one that's completely irrelevant because Bernie Sanders supported Clifton DeBerry, not Andrew Pulley, because Clifton DeBerry was the one who was on the ballot in Vermont. He received 75 votes. One of those 75 votes is probably Bernie. That's it. Like, wow. Bernie was one of 75 people to vote for a socialist candidate. And the last thing they say that is really kind of big that they're trying to get is trying to say that he supported him, like he supported the 1984 ticket as well, when in fact Bernie did not. In 1984, Bernie Sanders supported Walter Mondale, and in fact has supported every Democratic ticket since then. There is an article that literally shows that him and a friend of his, Peter Diamondstone, who was a co-founder of the Libertarian Party, started to fade away from each other and drift apart due to the fact that Diamondstone was more radical and would campaign for the socialist candidates as opposed to Bernie Sanders, who would actually campaign for the Democrat as soon as the general election rolled around. Because Bernie's pragmatic in a sense. He would rather work with a Democrat than lose. When I kind of go a little bit by Eugene V. Debs' logic, I would rather vote for something that I want and don't get it, than vote for something that I don't want and get it. But you know, Bernie's also goes with the progressive in the primary, obviously. You know, Jesse Jackson and the likes. But you know, we kind of have a slight difference in that kind of regard. But you know, that's pretty much the thing. Debunking, that's over. Now, on to 2020 watch. Joe Sandberg has announced that he's not running for president. Now, the only person that's a holdout for the Democratic nomination is Stacey Abrams. And at this point, Stacey just announced her running. Like, legitimately, I do not care. Just run. Just go ahead and run. Nobody cares, Stacey. Like, if you run as a progressive, go ahead. If you don't run as a progressive, go ahead. I don't care. But just run. Oh, no, wait. She's going to announce in September. You know, after, like, after... Oh, I think I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to get into the third debate. Oh. I mean, she's not going to get to the third debate. She wouldn't be able to get in the third debate anyways. I mean, to be honest, She wouldn't be able. She's announcing in September, and it's September 12th, where the third debate's gonna be. But you know, I think she's just trying to. She's either trying to get the, progressives to try and back her, or the establishment. She's trying to inevitably going to go to one of these two groups. But the thing is, honestly, who's really gonna... to be quite honest, she's gonna have to inevitably make a choice. Is she gonna stick by the progressives, or is she gonna stick by the establishment? Now, again, I'd take a look at the three major black gubernatorial candidates of 2018. Gillum, Abrams, and Ben Jealous. Ben has made it pretty clear he's going to stand by the progressives. Gillum, I think it's kind of vague, to be quite honest, but I think he's kind of aligning himself with the establishment. He made his choice in the general. Now, Abrams, her honeymoon phase is dying. Beto's honeymoon phase and Andrew Gillum's honeymoon phase, they died. Their honeymoon phase is over. And Abrams, it's her honeymoon phase is done. But the actual announcement for 2020 Watch is Howie Hawkins announces that he's running for the Green Party nomination. And the Green Party even took to Twitter to commemorate the occasion. Then Ian Schlockman was like, hey, wait a second. You didn't do this for my campaign. You didn't do this for Synonym's campaign. You didn't do this for Alan Augustin's campaign. Playing a bit of favoritism, I see. I have an article in the Independent Political Report in the works about, the inevitable, Howie getting a lot more attention and blah, blah, blah. But, that's neither here or there. That's not the main topic of this video. But first, the minor candidate of the day is Jeff Mackler of the Socialist Action Party. He just announced today. He's kind of been a LGBT rights activist, socialist activist. He always protests the regime change wars. It's alright. Jeff Mackler is the name. I think I said Jeff Mackler, but, I could have possibly messed it up. But whatever. To be fair, he doesn't necessarily have a... the problem with a lot of these socialist parties, like the Socialist Workers' Party and the, Socialist Action Party, is that they don't really have that much of an online presence. At least in America. Socialist Workers' Party, they don't have, a Twitter or Facebook or anything. They have, a website, but that's pretty much it. So, the Socialist Action Party, we're inevitably just going to have to go by the Socialist Action Party's, thing, their platform, to see if they're, legit. Okay, so apparently Jeff Mackler also ran for the 2016 election. So, we also have this. So, here's his platform. Rapid conversion to a 100% renewable energy to stop fossil fuel and dice climate change. For a just transition, guaranteed jobs on top of union wages for all workers displaced to the conversion of renewable energy. Quality, universal government-paid healthcare and education. Abolition of all racist, sexist, and homophobic laws and practices. Affordable housing and jobs for all at top union wages. For $15 and a union now has a short first step as minimum wage high enough to sustain quality living standards. Abolition of the U.S. war machine. Amnesty, legalization, and equal rights for all immigrants. For a Labor Party based on a revitalized, democratic, and expanded labor movement that is allied with the oppressed and the exploited. For a workers' government, abolish capitalism for socialism. His party is Trotskyist and communist in, its philosophy. So, it's kind of a little bit like a little bit off for me. But I mean, their campaign will get as far as the campaign goes. So, anyways, to take a radical shift, let's talk about 2020 election speculation. Now, I've already done a video about, how I think Weld will do. I've already done a video about how I think the Democratic primaries will do. And I think I'll have to do an update on that in the future. But in order to be somewhat new and clear, let's talk about how I think the 2020 Libertarian presidential primaries will go. Now, before I get into this, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say like, oh, North Carolina is gonna go to this guy, or California is gonna go to this guy, because I don't know how the Libertarians in each state go. I'm just gonna say the candidates that I think are gonna be important. I'll give you a little bit of details about them so you know who they are. And, a little bit about other things. But anyways, here's the thing. Here are all of the major Libertarian candidates so far. And when I say major, I mean major. These are the big guys. There's Adam Kokesh, a Libertarian peace activist, congressional candidate for New Mexico's 3rd Congressional District for the Republican Party a long time ago. He's running as an anarcho-capitalist with the platform of abolishing the government. There's Vermin Supreme. He's a satirical candidate who has made runs for president since 2004, or Mayor for America since 1988. Cecil Inc., the owner of Inc. Films and Libertarian Party candidate in 2016. Joe Exotic Maldonado. He owns an animal park, and he was an independent candidate for president in 2016. Arvind Vora, former vice chair of the Libertarian Party, who is well known for being a pedophile. I'll be completely honest. He's not a pedophile, but I'm just gonna say it. When he was asked if he would, screw a 16-year-old, when asked if he would have sex with a 14-year-old girl, he said probably not. Which does not incite me into thinking that he's less of a pedophile, but... Oh, no, wait, I bet he's one of those libertarians that are like, it's not a pedophile, it's an ebiophile. Is that what it is, an ebiophile? But anyways, Derek Michael Reed, 2016 presidential candidate and 2018 Senate candidate in California. Kim Ruff, who is a member of the Liberty Radical Caucus. Daniel Tax Freeze Berman. No, not Taxes Freeze. Thinking of someone else. His middle name is Taxation is Theft. And John McAfee, founder of McAfee Inc. in 2016 candidate for the Libertarian Party. Now, there is also 2 more technically candidates, or not. One candidate is kind of a candidate, but not really. Let me explain. Majority Report host Sam Cedar has technically stated that he is running for the Libertarian nomination for president. However, it was obviously a joke. But, we'll get into certain things in a second here. But, yeah, there's not necessarily a lot of good things going on for that. And secondly, Justin Amash has made it pretty clear that he has no interest in running as a Republican for the 2020 election, and that if he did run for president, he would do so as a Libertarian. Now, we'll get into that in a little bit, but lastly, I'm going to go over the Richard Ojeda of this race, Zoltan Istvan. Zoltan Istvan ran for the California gubernatorial race in 2018. He also was the Transhumanist Party candidate in 2016 for president, and he dropped out of the race publicly on January 11th. He said he did so by saying that he was not a member of the Libertarian Party anymore. And, well, he didn't really go that much far. He didn't really go far. His campaign didn't... Okay. I'll be honest. Istvan, it wasn't entirely clear if his campaign was going to go anywhere. And there was also a lot of speculation on other people who'd run for the candidacy, like Larry Sharpe and Austin Peterson and their golden boy Gary Johnson, but all declined the nomination. Darryl Perry's made it well known that he's going to support Kim Ruff, which is sad because I really wanted to see him talk about how everything needs to be as legal as tomatoes anymore, and how there's a transgender porn star who's a member of the Libertarian Party who looks like Adam Kokesh, and him talking about that was him trying to talk about hate bill laws. So anyways, here's how things appear to be going so far for the Libertarians. Let's look at polling. Here's polling. Here's how the polling goes. In a poll conducted on November 2016, when asking about the Libertarian presidential nominee, the candidate that did the best was Senator Rand Paul. After they excluded him because he's not going to run for the Libertarian Party nomination, the second best candidate was Austin Peterson. Then the likes of, Justin Amash, Larry Sharpe, Adam Schiff, Nick Sarwark, who was the chairman of the party. But again, most of them pretty much declined. But anyways, let's take a look at the most recent poll. The most recent poll has... one of the most recent polls that have had, anything, had the likes... consistently, Larry Sharpe has polled the best out of all these guys. He's, for the most part, been the winner. The only people who have done better than Larry Sharpe are Bill Weld and Justin Amash. That's pretty much it. And Rand Paul. Those are the only people who have done better than him. Except for one time where Austin Peterson was in a poll. But again, those are the only people who have done better than Larry Sharpe. And I honestly expected Larry Sharpe to run for president. I honestly did. But, he didn't. Now, the most recent straw poll has interesting results. It was conducted by Third Party Watch, and it had 5 candidates on the ballot. Adam Kokesh, John McAfee, Vermin Supreme, Arvin Vohra, and Sam Cedar. Here's how it broke down. 0% of respondents said that they'd vote for Arvin Vohra. 2% of respondents said they'd vote for Vermin Supreme. 21% of respondents said that they would vote for John McAfee. 34% of the voters said that they would vote for Adam Kokesh. And 43% of the voters said that they would vote for Sam Cedar. Despite the fact that Sam Cedar is, technically a progressive. But, come on. Why wouldn't you want to vote for Sam Cedar? Because, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to ask the Libertarian Party up front. Why did you vote for a universal healthcare Bernie/Hillary supporting guy to be the best choice to be your nominee? Excuse me, you didn't answer me. You just trailed off.
Yeah, I did kind of trail off there, didn't I?
So yeah, I'm still kind of perplexed why Sam Cedar, for some reason, polled the highest. But anyways, that doesn't really matter, because with all the speculation of Amash running, it leads into another question. Why, if Amash ran, why should the Libertarian Party nominate him? Well, you see, for starters, the Libertarian Party, they're not exactly... It kind of ties into the article that I'm writing for the Independent Political Report. It's kind of the thing that is the most popular way to nominate a presidential candidate for a third party. Get someone who is, very popular or well-known in a major party to run for your party so that you could possibly get some of that support to trail off. Get some of those people to at least acknowledge that your smaller party is a thing. In 2008, Bob Barr, who was a former Republican congressman, ran for the Libertarian Party nomination. Mike Gravel, who was a former senator, ran for the Libertarian Party nomination, and a former Congressman, Cynthia McKinney, ran for the Green Party nomination. And the most popular example came in 2012 when Gary Johnson dropped out of the Republican primary to run for the Libertarian primary. And, became the two-time candidate. And then Bill Weld decided to become his running mate and become a Libertarian for life. Ooh. Too soon? Yeah, I think that's a bit too soon. In fact, Amash actually criticized Bill Weld. He said, if you Libertarians are going to nominate somebody, they should not nominate a soft Republican. It's like, oh, snap. So, it really boils down to these people. If, inevitably, here's how the election will pretty much play around the same way that we would expect it will. And one of the candidates isn't even, in the country for the time being. I think John McAfee right now is in Venezuela, ironically. Because he's didn't pay his taxes for 20 years, and then they finally realized, oh crap, he didn't pay his taxes. We gotta go get him. That was in a Sam Cedar debate with a Libertarian. That was the whole reason Sam Cedar fake announced that he was running for the Libertarian Party nomination, because he is well known for his debates with Libertarians, where he made Darryl Perry run away because he said that Darryl Perry, if he doesn't pay taxes, he should go to jail. The Darryl Perry was like, you are a horrible, despicable person. Thank you for letting me on your show. But again, at least he's not a pedophile like Arvin Vora. I still am perplexed why people would even let Arvin Vora. Arvin Vora was on a white supremacist show. And then they're like, excuse me, Arvin, why would you be on this white supremacist show? And he's like, I would rather work with a white supremacist than an evil leftist. And it's like, wow, Arvin. This man wants to throw you out of the country. But, come on. Why wouldn't an obviously Middle Eastern man want to work with a white supremacist? Why not? They both hate Jews. Okay. Honestly, the only Libertarian that I would not have on the show would be Arvin Vora. And if he was on the show, I would immediately confront him about the pedophile question first. That would be the entire interview. If a 20-second video pops up on my channel, it's literally just going to be me saying, here's my interview with Arvin Vora. So, Arvin, why are you a pedophile? Beep. That's pretty much it. How it would go for Arvin. Arvin's not going anywhere. We all talk about how, the, certain candidates are just going to drop off the face of the earth, like Eric Swalwell for the Democrats and Bill Weld for the Republicans. Arvin Vora is pretty much going to be swept under the rug. Any support he's going to get is not really going to be that much to give him the Libertarian Party nomination. In fact, I highly doubt he's even going to make it to the debate stage, because here's how the debate stage works. They have to collect tokens from all the people at the convention. And Larry Sharpe apparently gave some of his tokens to Darryl Perry so that Darryl Perry could be on the debate stage, so that the ANCAP voice can be heard. But, Adam Kokech kind of has the ANCAP thing down. So, there's not really room for too many ANCAPs on the stage. I don't know what kind of Libertarian Arvin Vora is. The pedophile one. Okay, ebophilia or whatever. That's literally a joke amongst everybody about Libertarians. That's not even a new joke. It's everybody's joke about Libertarians, that they're all pedophiles. Or that they are selfish or blah blah blah. Not all Libertarians are pedophiles. I'll be fair. If that's all that I can say about your ideology, that not everybody of that ideology is pedophiles, there might be something wrong with it. Okay, I'm joking around. There are some Libertarians that are smart. The Libertarian leftists, heyo, I'm at it again. The jokes are all around. Why can't we all talk about the fact that Libertarians, that's just the thing. I mean, Penn Jillette's pretty cool. But I mean, Penn Jillette is also an ANCAP, so he's not that cool. Like, I mean, being a Libertarian is one thing, but being an ANCAP is another thing. I'd ask Adam about that if I got him on my show, but he's probably too big for me. In more ways than one. Ha 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 ha, Pride Month. Hey, I can make that joke. Anybody can make that joke, but I have technically exclusive rights to that. But anyways, let's get back to the Libertarian primaries. Who has the best chance out of all of the candidates? Well, originally, I thought that out of all of the candidates, Zoltan had the best chance. Because Zoltan was the most recent person to enter the Libertarian Party and seemed to be the most sane, quote-unquote, in regards to a lot of Libertarian philosophies. You know, he's been saying stuff like how he's in between Bernie and Hillary on a lot of things. Transhumanism usually involves some kind of single-payer system. But, you know, I originally thought that he had the best chance out of all of them. But clearly, in my mind, the best person that I think has the chance of winning the Libertarian Party nomination is Adam Kokesh. And I'm willing to bet money on that. Adam Kokesh, I believe, has the best chance to win the Libertarian Party nomination. Here's why. He's the most well-known. What do I mean by that? Well, technically, Vermin Supreme has some notoriety due to the fact that he's Vermin Supreme. But out of all of them, Kokesh is the guy who has been there for a long time. He's been a liberty activist for a long time. He's the most popular in regards to, I mean, obviously poll numbers. But he's also got, you know, an online presence. A very big online presence. You know, he's been on RT for crying out loud. He's been very public for his support for the likes of Ron Paul. He's also been very open to the idea of Amash entering the race. You know, he's perfectly content with, you know, Amash running because, well, his view is the more the merrier. But, you know, Kokesh, he still has some things that are iffy, you know, the ANCAPism, because Libertarians, they always have this whole divide in regards to, like, ANCAPs, classical liberals, blah, 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 blah. You know, Johnson's been a classical liberal, and Bob Barr was just a Republican who wanted to run for the Libertarian Party. I mean, I guess technically, to be quite honest, if Kokesh was the nominee, he'd be the most pure candidate the Libertarian Party's had in a while. Because again, most of their candidates have just been diet Republicans or classical liberals. So yeah, I think technically Kokesh has the best chance. I would put money on it, but I don't want to. Because I know Libertarians kind of got sad. They're like, "Aw, he doesn't want to put money on it." But I mean, yeah, I'm not going to put money on it. Kokesh, in my view, though again, I'll say this right now, Kokesh has the best chances of being a Libertarian nominee, unless, I'll add one caveat, unless one of these individuals jumps in the race. Gary Johnson, Larry Sharp, Ron Paul, Rand Paul, or Justin Amash. If any of those guys runs for the nomination, and the fifth one is very likely, Kokesh will be second place. But if none of those guys run, Kokesh, in my view, has the best chance of being Libertarian Party nominee. That's all I have to say in that regard. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell to be notified when the future video of mine comes out. And if you're interested in more political content from me, you can go to my website, or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Quora, or check out my articles on the Independent Political Report. Who do you think has the best chance of being the Libertarian nominee? Do you think it's Kokesh, or do you think it could be anyone else? Do you think maybe Vermis Supreme could actually make it to the general election? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and be on the lookout because one of the candidates that I mentioned will be appearing on the show at one point in the future, but it's not going to be the one you think.